Oh, they're here right now. All right.
Yep.
All right. Welcome to the postgame news conference for Game 1 of the Credit Union One West Coast Conference Women's Basketball Championship. Welcome, Washington State. We have head coach Kami Etheridge and then student athletes Alex Colville and Eleonora Villa. Media, please just when asking a question, wait to be called upon and then just give your name and affiliation. Anyone who is on Zoom, please use the raised hand function and you will be called upon. So with that, I'll go ahead.
Coach, it feels like the game kind of turned on its head in the second quarter, and it was really Malia and Keandra who kind of sparked. I think they had the first 15 points of that quarter. Just how much was that kind of a welcome sight when it felt like there's times this year we've only been able to rely on 2 or 3 players, but you get to this time of year and you need players like that to have moments like that.
Yeah, we've talked about that often, just 4 people, 5 people in double figures, getting to 80 points, those are the numbers that, give us a fighting chance to win games. But that not only on the offensive side, I thought defensively that second group, whatever you want to call it, was phenomenal. And I think they calmed us down and got quality looks and again, had some defensive players on the court, and then Malia making some threes. It was just, people stepped into some shots that we need them to make in order for us to win. So such a relief to get that kind of production off the bench, which ended up being 33-5. So that says a lot about the success of our team tonight.
And then Alex, just same question for you guys. You see a couple of your teammates come in and make those plays, and while you guys are getting a breather, and at times this year that hasn't gone as well, and at times when you guys are on the bench, game gets away, and instead it kind of gets away in the right way. Just what was it for you guys seeing them develop throughout the season, and just kind of that culmination tonight or today?
Yeah, I'm really proud of Malia and Keandra. I think that they really stepped up today, and they showed that they're great players and that they can go and contribute, and I'm just really proud of them. I think that they showed up, and I think that they put in all their effort, and yeah, I'm happy for them.
Yeah, same, and I think that at this point of the season we need the bench to step up and do what they did today, and Malia and Keandra, we need that and help us to take advantage and just keep us going. So I think that was amazing for us, and we need to do the same thing tomorrow.
If we can keep questions focused on the student athletes, and then we'll have time later for Coach to answer the questions. You can go ahead. Okay.
Yeah, Jeff Ferrella with West Coast Conference. Alex, you've had an unusual season, obviously. I guess you suffered a stress reaction in your foot after the second game, and then you came back, and the first game back, you got conked in the nose, and you're out for a couple more games. Can you just talk about what the season's been like for you?
Yeah, it's been a little bit of an up and down season for me, but I really have to thank my teammates and my coaches for just having my back and supporting me along the way. They've just been a great support system, and honestly, they're kind of the reasons why I feel like I'm playing my best basketball right now, just because they're always putting me in great spots, and they've just been, honestly, my biggest supporters, so I really got to thank them.
How was your foot? And then when you came back, I guess it was against Pepperdine, you got hit in the nose. What were you thinking at that point? What else could go wrong?
Yeah, I was definitely a little frustrated, but I knew that with my nose, I wouldn't be sitting out that many games, so I was just kind of staying focused and staying locked in on the next game that I'll be able to play on. So.
A lot of players hate wearing the mask. How did you adjust to that?
It's not that bad. Sometimes if it's too tight, it gives me a little bit of a headache and leaves some marks on my face, but it's fine, yeah.
And Ellie, can you just talk about what it's like to have her back? And because last, I think, 6 games in a row in double digits now.
Yeah, we missed her a lot in the early part of the season because clearly she always brings so much advantage for us because no one has her size, and she's so good to finishing, but also on the defense of it. She's such a good player. She knows where to stay and make it difficult for other people to make shot over her, and she's such a good blocker. And so I'm just so happy to have her back, and in this last game she's doing amazing. She's just helping us a lot, and yeah.
Any other questions for the players?
Did you guys just talk about facing Pacific tomorrow? You played them just once. What do you have to do different or better in the rematch?
Well, I know for me, I have to be really physical down low because we know that they're a very physical team. They try to push me out of the paint, so I just know I need to come in focused and be ready for a battle in the paint.
Yeah, I think that it's gonna be a different game. They are really aggressive, and they, especially like with me, they usually come in 3 people, and I need to kick out the ball and just spray and move the ball easily for my teammates. And I mean, we need just to go back, watch film, and just adjust and be ready to play tomorrow.
All right, players, you're free to go. Just actually a reminder as well, the open locker room will be open for another 14 minutes, but for now, we can start with any questions we have for Coach.
Cammy, can you talk about the ordeal that Alex went through with the foot and then breaking your nose?
Well, she had it last year too with the foot, and it wasn't the same spot and things like that. And constantly, sometimes with in female, bone stress in bones has kind of been our thing. We've had a little bit more of that than other things, which that's live with some things. But just her, she had such an amazing summer. She had such an amazing preseason, and then you just have to shut her down for 7 weeks. And for her, that's a hard thing to get that momentum back and play with the physicality and the timing and the power that she had kind of built up. I mean, it's just that long of limbs. It's not, you got to keep that momentum going. And then, you get her back and then she breaks her nose and that just, it's already a physical game, and now she's got her nose broken from just the physicality going at her. And then she came back again and then kind of had another little reaction, but the doctors just are like, you can play through this. So she's still nursing a little bit. She doesn't practice full-time for us, and she's nursing a bone issue, and we'll take what we can get from her. It's not ideal, but she's such a dominant player on both sides of the ball. She needs to score for us. I thought she could have gotten more points than she did tonight. She got touches, and she needs to finish some of those. But you can't overlook what an impact she is on the defensive end too. And so having her on the floor is really, people have to scout her, and people have to have a plan to go against her and to stop her because she's such a dominant player. And then you combine her with a Malia who can bring something that she doesn't. I mean, the combinations that we have because of Alex is huge for our success.
And what she's nursing now, something with the same foot?
It's a different spot, but it is a foot injury. And again, I mean, our doctors say all the time, probably if you MRI'd every one of our kids, they'd have some sort of hot spot going on right now. So it's totally manageable. But again, for someone that is predisposed maybe a little bit to some bone issues, we're on the careful side because we need her in games.
And Ellie mentioned tomorrow's game. Did they sort of gang up on her a little bit in that game, or did she have to do different?
I mean, I watched that film, and it's amazing how I don't even recognize some of the things we're in, and that has a lot to do with them. They're very, very, very good defensively. They're very physical on Alex. They push her out. She won't get easy looks at the basket. Hopefully, displacement will be called when people shove her out with their knee and their hip and their armbar and all of those things. But we got to get her good looks in positions where she can dominate. But yeah, they'll double. They'll bring people at LA. People are deciding they got to make other people beat us. I just love how LA gets through double teams though and gets the ball where it needs to go and can still score 22 points. She's used to kind of every kind of defense. So by now we just have to be able to adjust, and we got to move the ball, and we got to make people pay for putting 2 people on the ball.
Pacific has 1 win away from home this year. Is that something you feel like there may be an exploitation there? Or is there anything you've noticed in watching film that they do differently when they're at home versus when they're not?
Only you would ask that question. And no, I had no idea that record. And I do think there might, I don't know anything about that. I don't know how that'll look. I just know, I do think there might be for us, we're gonna look at it like it's a great thing that we played today. I think coming in on a second day, having played on this gym and this floor and this basket, I think that's a good thing. I think some of our nerves are out. I think we're gonna go about that and hope that their first game jitters are hitting them tomorrow.
You got 17 minutes from Mackenzie and Malia when you played them. 17 minutes total, no points. they're playing maybe their best ball of the year the last few games. How much do you think that can change what you're able to do against Pacific, knowing that you can count on those two, whereas at that point maybe it was still a little bit up and down?
So much. I mean, Mackenzie has turned herself into a really dominant player for us, and that's with some limits to her game that she's well aware of, and still she's finding her way to score for us, to get the ball, to play inside the 3-point line, and quite frankly, she was the dominant player on the court, I thought, tonight with 20. She's plus 25 in the stats tonight. So when she was on the court, our team played their very best basketball, and she was phenomenal on the defensive end. So I love her game right now. I love her disposition, and every word she speaks is the right things that she should be saying at the right time, takes responsibility, has accountability to everything. Love that. And, Malia is a typical freshman. When we love it when she makes threes, she's so happy and everything's great. And when she does, we have a really good chance to win. We got to keep her up on a high note the rest of this tournament because she really is effective. And clearly, with the matchups that we have, she can create a lot of problems for the other team if we can have her on the floor, being able to stretch the defense like she can, and again, defend and rebound. I thought she did a phenomenal job tonight.
A reminder for those on Zoom: if you use the raise hand function, I can unmute you. So just a reminder for that. Go around.
Coach, it's around the 3-year anniversary of when you won the Pac-12 tournament here in Vegas. Obviously, two different teams, two different seasons, but how do you culminate that same magic that run had into this team and a potential win?
I don't know that we can do that, but I don't think probably a 9th seed has ever won this tournament, so I don't think a 7th seed had ever won that previous tournament before, so maybe that's the only thing I would look at. We don't want to look at impossibilities at all. I think our team feels confident and thinks we can beat anybody in this league, so we won one tonight, and we got to go play tomorrow and see if we can advance after tomorrow.
Any other questions? All right, thank you, Coach.
Go Cougs.
Thanks, Coach.
There's about 8 minutes left of open locker room for those who would like to use that. And we will have Seattle University up next.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Y'all got some airtime on TV.
I don't think we've met. Jeff Morano.
Nice to meet you.
Yeah, what's your last name?
Green?
Green. And you work at the office?
Yeah, I'm the external intern.
Okay, beautiful.
Jeff, good work, dude.
I forgot the opening statement.
Mike's open, so whatever he says.
Okay.
I can take it.
Welcome to the second session of the Game 1 of the Credit Union 1 West Coast Conference Women's Basketball Championship. We have Seattle University head coach Skylar Young and student athletes Ella Brubaker and Tamia Strickland. We'll start with an opening statement from the coach.
Just say congrats to Washington State on, advancing to the next round. Great team that's put a string of games together down the stretch of the season and continuing on their season. I'm proud of my team, the way we fought through everything, not just in this game to the end, through practices, the low numbers, the roster size, despite the noise going around the program, they still bring it every single day, especially being led by these two great seniors and upperclassmen right here that really took leadership to the stream this year and led this group in a great way. So just very proud of these two and just proud of the team as a collective.
We'll go with questions for the student athletes and then reminders to say your name and affiliation.
Yeah, Jeff Ferrato with the West Coast Conference. For both young ladies, can you just talk about sort of what you come away with? This is a difficult season for you, but what are some positives that you came away with?
I think some positives were our unity as a team. I think we really loved each other on and off the court, and whether that didn't show up in the box score, I think that made us not quit every day we came to practice for games, and I think that's something big, and I think we really wanted to do the same thing for us and for Coach Sky to get out some good effort.
Yeah, same thing as T. I think this is one of the most fun teams, I've been on in my 6 years. So just we love each other, and we had a lot of fun moments, too, off the court. And, after playing, you realize that, the wins and losses, obviously that's what the game is about, but it's also about the people. And so we have a lot of good memories to take away from the season.
Go ahead.
Let's talk about, you expect 10 years from now, 20 years from now, the two of you the team will get back together and celebrate just, the feelings that you have?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I think that's something that our team can hold with big pride with. I mean, we have a lot of locals from here, so a lot of us, it's easiest to come together, and I think we have a lot of internationals, and I think we can definitely pride ourselves that we're taking a trip to Croatia, we're going to Montenegro, we're going to Germany, we're going to Serbia, all those places. So I think that's something that is big that we can do. I think something we've got to understand, it's bigger than basketball, and so while we did not get the outcome that we wanted, I think that's something bigger that we should take away more than the losses itself.
And Ella, can you talk about, what do you think went wrong? What could you guys have done better this year?
I think we dealt with a lot of adversity. I think, at the end of the day, it falls on everyone involved, and not just our coach, right? So I think I'm proud of the effort that we gave. I don't think that there was a single game that we quit. I think, there's stretches where obviously we weren't playing the way we wanted to. For a lot of the season, I think sometimes the shots weren't falling. Honestly, if you go back and I don't want to say we run the film back, but if you watch some of our games, we just didn't make open shots a lot of the time. And I trust, I trust T, I trust, big, down the line. I trust everybody to shoot those shots. And, I've seen a lot of people make 15, 23s in a row in practice. I promise I'm not making it up. But then, when it gets in the game, it's different and you got to perform. And so I'm honestly just proud of our fight. And I think all of us, we learned a lot to take away from the season.
Any other questions for the student athletes? All right, you're free to go, student athletes. Thank you.
Cool. Thank you. Am I allowed to say something on the record?
Go ahead.
Okay. I just wanted to thank Coach Sky for giving me the opportunity to come back home. I think he is an amazing coach, and I think he's going to do amazing things. So despite, our outcome, I think he wants the best for us, and he's a great person, and he wants, it's not transactional, it's not a business, and I think that's something that most coaches can't say because it's all a business. So I'm super grateful for him, and I'm excited that he made me fall back in love with the game. Thank you.
Yeah, I want to echo that too. I just want to thank him for just being a genuine coach and genuine person. It's rare to find nowadays someone who also cares about you as a player, but also more importantly you as a person. So I want to thank you, Coach, for letting me come home this season.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Skylar, obviously been a difficult time, but can you just talk about what it means to have the backs of, that they have your back?
I just think it's a testament of our program and just the staff I surrounded with. It's always been about the players for me since I got in this business. I'm not a young coach. I've been around, 22+ years. I got in the business early, and it's always been about relationships and treating people the right way. And that's why I had the longevity that I have and will continue to have. But I won't be. I know this business, and they talk about transactional or not, but it's also about wins and losses. And I understand, how it goes. And I know I didn't get enough wins and losses, but I also appreciate the opportunity that I was given, by Seattle University, because a lot of people like me do not get a lot of opportunities. And, I came up a little short, but it doesn't stop me. It's just a little delay here, but, definitely we'll go learn and, move on. We'll both go the best directions for us, and they're definitely going to hire a great coach, and I'll keep coaching. Joke with the players and whatnot. I might see you again soon, but I'm just proud of, the team that I had here, the opportunity that I had, and all the people. Yes, it's tough, and I hate failing, but I don't say I failed. I gave everything I had with the resources that I had to try to be successful as I could, and I just came up short, and I feel bad that I didn't set them up right with more wins. But what I try to do is treat everybody the right way. And that's one thing I'll hold true to the end. I treat people the right way. I don't play games or slight people, and just try to give them the best experience as possible, because especially with these young women, this is the best time of their lives, these 4 or 5 years in college, and now it is such a business side that you got to balance both as a coach, I feel, and I try to do both with that. But I appreciate everything the opportunity I was given by Seattle U and these women, the whole team, not just Ella and T, being their coach this season.
Thank you, Coach.
Thanks.